if you can get to that acceptance at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I
That's
got this owner. Okay, everybody has an owner. Even if you're a business owner, your customers own you.
Facts.
You are a grown man that gets paid a lot of money. You can set yourself up and you get to play a kid's game. You are blessed.
Welcome to Vulnerability Muscle, the inspiring podcast challenging norms and helping you redefine vulnerability as a strength. I'm your host, Reggie D. Ford. Each episode of Vulnerability Muscle dives into a variety of topics such as mental health, social issues, and mindset shifts. We explore the power of vulnerability and fostering meaningful connections, healing, building resilience, and promoting personal growth. Sometimes these conversations are uncomfortable, but good workouts often are. So join us and flex that vulnerability muscle.
Welcome to Vulnerability Muscle, the inspiring podcast challenging you to redefine vulnerability as a strength. Today, I have somebody who I don't even know needs any introduction, but my man, Jordan J. Matt Matthews. What's up, baby?
My brother, let's do it.
Man, so a little backstory. Me and J. Matt played together at Vanderbilt, studied econ together at Vanderbilt.
You were studying.
Look.
They don't know Fitz, but you and Fitz was studying.
We were studying.
We were studying y'all.
You just made a memory from an exam period pop in my head. Did you get extra time one time? And never mind.
Yeah.
But
if you asked if I went to office hours, no. All right.
Me and J Mac go way back, and one of the, if not, no, the best receiver that I have ever had the opportunity of playing with on the same team at Vanderbilt, and just to get to witness your rise coming in as a freshman and then seeing all you've done for 11 years now in the league and still going.
Still going.
He's now a tight end, but Jordan Matthews, y'all, like, welcome to the show.
Man, bro, appreciate you having me. Even just like I'm walking in, like I know who you, like what you become to people. Man. You've been that to me.
Yeah.
And it's just been cool to see, bro. So when you hit me up and you was like, man, let's just do this, let's have a conversation. I'm like, I'm willing to just have one regardless.
Yes.
You know, so let's do it, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, bro. Man, you got so much in the things that you're involved in with, like, it's not just sports, which I love. Like you've always been interested in so much more and understanding that there is a life beyond the
1,000%.
game. And I want to touch into that. I want to tap into that. But first, it's a segment called What Comes to Mind.
Come on, let's do it.
The first thing that you can think of.
All right.
What comes
I can get my mind going now. Let's go.
What comes to mind when you hear the word vulnerability?
Relationships.
Okay. What is something you do to relax when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed?
Meditate.
Okay. And then last one. You thinking too hard over here. You
Nah.
deep. Look.
I told you. I'm always going, baby. I'm like the fridge. I'm always open.
That is.
I'm always on.
Yo, 24/7.
24/7.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. What is one of your favorite childhood memories?
My dad was always there. My dad was always there. And my mom was always there too. I'm blessed because, you know, I was actually speaking at Pearl Cone yesterday.
Nice.
And I was talking to this young group of people, and we were talking about excellence and, you know, what it means to, you know, become excellent, right? And I was telling them, like, guys, like, let's not make any mistakes about it. Like, we're at a Davidson public school, okay? So there's a good chance that maybe some of your parents aren't able to say, we just want to send you over here. So if there's a lot amount of time to work, okay, your teacher says, hey, you need to go home and study 30 minutes. There's a kid somewhere that's growing up in a mansion. His dad owns about 10 businesses, got 20-something streams of income, and his teacher says you need to study 30 minutes. If both of you guys study 30 minutes, who's still going to be ahead?
Yeah.
Okay.
That kid got you.
And that's the harsh reality. And I'm telling you this as a freshman, but the sad part is, if you don't get this by the time you're a senior, the race is done.
And by that time, you're already a little bit behind.
Right. So I was telling them, though, for me, like, my parents showed me that at a very young age, but I had the blessing of both of them always being there. You know what I'm saying? So even though there were kids that had a little bit more, I still feel like I had the main thing. I had both of them always present. So every memory I have as a kid, I'm looking up and I see these two people.
Dang.
But when I say my dad, though, why that was the first one that came to my mind, I just can't leave out my mom, though, there was just this one time, man, I hit one home run my whole time when I played baseball.
Yeah.
One where it was over the fence.
Yeah.
So I was one of them, like, I get you inside the park.
Yeah.
But
And take off.
Hey, take off. But I couldn't send one. And my mom missed one baseball game when I was in Little League, just one. She stayed home and she was just cooking for the family. But she said, Dad, Rod, you got it. And my dad came with me to that game. He was sitting in center field. And I went up there, I connected with the ball, and I saw my dad go like this, look, and turn back and put his hands up.
So proud.
So proud. I mean, and at that point, it's like, who do you want to make happier? And that just, so for me, like, now I have 3 sons.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've got
And you there.
I've got unlimited motivation at all times, because I'm like, okay, if that's my core memory, when you ask me that, what's theirs going to be? So I'm always kind of like, trying to represent for my family the way that my dad did. So, yeah.
Thank you for that perspective.
Yeah.
Like, me being vulnerable, like, I am terrified to have a child. Like, that is something that I'm like, not that I like feel like I'm ready for it. I don't think you'll ever be ready for it, but it's something that I have, like, because I can control whether or not I do it.
Yeah.
I just, in the world, in looking at my trauma and all of that, I'm like, I don't know if I want to have a child.
Yeah.
But I don't have that experience that you had,
Yeah.
right? Like, I didn't have my dad there growing up, but to hear you say, like, what are their core experiences going to be as you, with you as the father, it's going to be dope. I know that. I know that. And so that was a good reframe for me to be like, but I will be the one that's helping them make those core memories.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
no,
you
that was
will.
cool.
No, what's crazy though is like, and I just know your heart, Reggie. Like, you've always been one to, like, you always wanted to pour into people. Even when I got to Vanderbilt, you this guy walk on, doing your best to, make a name for yourself on this team. And I'm like, this is a guy that probably should be worried about only what he's doing. Because it's like any day they could be like, we cool on you. But you was always trying to pour into other people.
Yeah.
And you always wanted better for other people than yourself. Well, imagine, like, with a kid, it's on a whole nother level.
True.
And I tell people all the time, like, if I ask them how they feel about something, hey, what do you think about the music you listen to? What do you think about the food you eat? What do you think about the stuff you do in your spare time?
Yeah.
They may give me an answer. I'll say, that's not how you really feel about it. And then, what do you mean? I say, well, what if your kid was doing it? That's how they really feel about it. You'll hear, like, people that make, let's just go music, secular artists, they make crazy music, and then they'll come out an article and say, oh, I never let my kid listen to the music I make. Well, why do you make it?
Right.
It's because we as people will self-sabotage all day, but we will never want that for our kids. So I just know your heart. Like, I'm trying to speak to why
dope.
that hesitation might be a little bit there, because it's like, that the stakes are already high for you and the people that God's entrusted you with, your listeners, yourself. The stakes when it's a child, bro, is through the roof.
Man.
It's through the roof. Like, I have an amazing wife. I love her to death. You know what I'm saying? I've never met a person like her. So every time I see my kids, I see half of me and half of her. Like, the stakes for that are crazy high. So I think I appreciate you being vulnerable with that, but I think it's because
it is.
You know what I'm saying? It's time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when that does come, when little Reggie does come.
You said unlimited motivation. Too.
Unlimited.
I think that was so cool. That's so cool. Man.
Unlimited.
So catch me up, man. So, take me back, actually.
Okay.
Growing up in Alabama, you got some Alabama folks here.
I saw this. I know it. Yeah.
But what was life like growing up for you, your brother, like the fam? What was that like?
Man, it was just blessed. I got 2 great parents. My parents been married over 30 years. They've always been there. I didn't remember a hot meal being on the table. But my mom was strict. Like, there's people that will still say, like, they didn't even know Brenda liked them until, like, years later. That's because my mama is like, she always on, she on the task. And my dad was always just that leader in the family. Wake up early, go to work, be at every practice. He was there. He was like the mayor in the city.
Okay.
So everybody knew him.
This is Madison?
This is Madison, Alabama, right? And they still live there, but they're always coming. Like, the people that they were for me and my brother, they're those same people for their grandchildren. They just consistent, and they truly have a good foundation. They gave that to me and my brother. We played sports, but sports was not emphasized to the degree that I see a lot of people do it for their kids nowadays.
It's
And
crazy
we,
now.
It's crazy. We can talk about that too, because now I'm seeing it. They were big on academics. They were big on us being well-rounded. You know, I can remember most days we had something to do, but it wasn't the same thing. It was always, hey, we're doing something at the church. Hey, we're doing sports. Okay, now we're doing battalion. Okay, now we're doing Kappa League. They wanted us to
Wow.
be real diverse, and there was a standard. Like, when you were in school, you didn't bring home a B.
Yeah. Nah.
Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like this is your only job.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I just remember stuff that my parents say. My mom would say, like, you know, you always finish what you start. Like, you always finish what you start. Always.
dope.
And so, like, I don't care how bad hard a class got once I got in high school, once I got into college. It was like, you ain't gonna repeat. You're gonna finish what you start.
Yeah.
And so they just poured that stuff into me at a young age. When sports came and when we started to get serious with it,
Same
then
mindset.
they brought the energy with that.
Yeah.
But they never, I mean, we like how sports, like I said, can be idolized now for kids. It was never that way.
Yeah.
Never. And so I think that was good for us.
How when did you know that there was a dog inside you that was capable of doing the things that you could do in sports?
Right. Well, first I saw it in my brother. So just the metrics of my house. My dad's 6 foot, my mom's 5'4". My brother stopped growing at like 5'9", 5'10". I don't know what happened. I jumped to 6'3". But my brother realized that deficit I talked to those kids about. If he worked the same amount of time as the 5-star recruit, he'd never catch him. I remember my brother ordering a pull-up bar, putting it in his door, and every single time he walked in and out of his door, he'd do like 5 pull-ups.
Yeah.
Legit, like just anytime he walked in or out of his bedroom, he hit 5. Because there was this pull-up record they had all the records in the high school, you know, like fastest 40, most bench press. And the pull-up record was like 25. He's like, I'm gonna get 30. And I'm like, that's a weird thing to like meditate on in your spare time. Like, I would do 30 pull-ups, like that shit, you know. And but that's a crazy number.
To it. Yeah,
but he was committed to it because he was like, okay, well, I can't change my height, but I can still change the way people view me. I can still come out here and, you know, give myself a better situation. So I watched a guy that maybe wasn't giving all these things work to a certain level. So I saw the dog in my brother first. Like, he would do like 50 pull-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 100 push-ups a night.
Wow.
Okay. Now he's working for Southwest. He graduated with an engineering degree from Mississippi State. He's a loving husband and he's got a daughter.
Let's go.
Right. So it carried him.
Yeah.
Once I saw that in him, I started to pick up on those things. Okay, well, this is the standard. This is how you have to work. It wasn't just about football. It's just about a standard for yourself in general.
In life.
And then when I realized I was kind of nice, we were in our sophomore year. We go out there. We're a 3A school. We play as 4A team. They're pretty stout. They just won state the year before. We go out there. My brother, the pull-up king, he goes out there and scores 2 touchdowns. I'm like, damn, bro, cook it. You know what I mean? And I'm this sophomore. I go out there. I get 1 catch. If I get 1 catch, I get busy. I get like 20 yards off it. I'm like, okay, my brother did 2 tugs, but I'm kind of nice with my little op. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, you know, if I can get 22 yards off 1 catch, I mean, what could I do with like 4 in the game, 5? And then it just took off, man. From the rest, every time I touch the ball, I'm scoring. And so 11 touchdowns as a sophomore. I come back as a junior, another like 13. Then my coach challenged me my senior year. We need you to play defense. Had another 1,000 yards, 10 odd touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Nice.
And so it just kind of compounded, but it all started because my brother showed me like there's a level that you got to work at.
Man,
you
shout
know?
out to Justin.
Shout out to my brother, man. That's my guy.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So you said today, like the kids of today, it's a whole different ball game with
bro.
You got video and Instagram and huddle and everything else.
It's down bad.
And you got NIL and people are thinking about that early. Like, what are you seeing as you raise your kids, your boys in this world of sports, and how are you shielding them from some of the craziness or like leaning into it?
Yeah, I will say one funny thing is like it always baffles me when I go to like a youth sporting event and I'll see a guy yelling at his kid and I'll look at him and I'm like, okay, I guarantee you didn't play past high school. And then I look at his wife giving out the gummies. I'm like, okay, she didn't. What makes you think Like, why are you on this? This kid's like, Dad, I just want to watch Bluey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, Dad? Like,
Yeah.
So, you know.
Let him be average.
Come on,
that's
bro.
what he's gonna be.
Let's be honest.
And let
Dude,
him have fun.
if I take you to an NBA basketball game, 99% of them won the genetic lottery.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
let's just be
Right.
honest,
Yes.
right? Now, there's an aspect of, hey, if you work super hard, you can be like Steph. Well, Steph Curry's dad was still Wardell.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Tom Brady,
NBA.
as hard as he worked, I saw Tom for the first time. I was like, he looked big as that Alabama locker.
Yeah.
He's like still like 6'5".
Yeah.
So there's some of this is just like these kids, some of these kids are gifted.
Right.
I don't want to take away the aspect. We just talked about it where there's an amount of work that should be put in and you can still make it. I've seen a lot of guys in the NFL make it longer than some people that had a lot of talent, but they lasted longer. But what I'm saying is you learn those lessons when you get to like late middle school, high school. You don't learn that lesson when a kid's like 7, 8, and every single weekend you're chasing a little ball around the field.
Yeah.
You should be taking that kid fishing.
Yeah.
You should be spending time like just, you know what I'm saying, daddy-daughter dates. And so for me, when you say like how are we leaning in, dog, it's gonna sound funny, but I was very intentional about this. I always told myself, you know, one, I was going to find love. That's why I was going to get married. Because the most attractive thing about anybody is their spirituality. Where are they with God? And so my wife has deep faith.
Yeah.
Deep faith and more than any woman I've seen. And so that's number one.
Nice.
But she can go.
Yeah.
You know, like, she won.
Pro athlete too.
She won a natty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Florida State, no natties. Shannon shows up natty. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Like went to 2 World Cups.
Yeah.
So it was intentional though, because I'm like, okay, well, if I don't want to be that crazy dad, let me at least give them some hamstrings, some
Genetics.
quads.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
genetics
saying?
gonna
Some
be
genetics.
there.
So they're gonna be there. So now I don't gotta sit here and freak out every time. Like, oh, we need to go catch. We need to go do this. It's like, you know what? No, like when we were growing up. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, what was the number one barometer that we looked at to tell like the kids that were probably going to make it, like in high school or further? We would say, line each kid up on field day and see who's the what.
Fastest.
That's it.
Go.
If I walk into that's it.
Go.
If I walk into my NFL, if I go back to Carolina today and we had team meeting, I said, all right, guys, everybody raise your hand if you were the fastest kid at your school in first, second, third grade.
Yeah.
Every hand will go up,
Everybody.
even the linemen.
Everybody. Yeah.
They'd be
Yeah,
like,
I believe
okay,
that. Yeah.
okay. You have kids that's slow and parents are yelling at them, run. I'm like, no, bro, you didn't give him that. You didn't give it to him. That's your fault.
We're going gaming. Let's
Exactly.
Go gaming.
Like
we're going
so
different route with
now
this.
we're gonna put a weight to you. We're gonna put the parachute on you. Have your. It's like slow
You're
down.
fighting against nature at that point.
You fighting against,
Yeah.
and you're doing way too much.
And
like,
it's putting so much pressure on the kid.
it's no point.
Yeah.
Like when I think about the impact that people can make, like you think about like doctors. Like when COVID happened, there was no sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as essential as it
Shut
might,
down.
shut down. You think is this essential? Okay, we still need doctors. We need lawyers, and if we keep it real, we need this in our community. We really need this talk.
Facts.
Because if we put half the effort that we put in sports,
Speak on it.
as we did in some of these other areas, we wouldn't still be in the same situation we're in. But we're all competing for 5 spots on the Pistons.
Man.
We're all, you know.
I think
so,
about
yeah.
that all the time because like before I started playing football, I played basketball.
Yeah.
And going back to that lottery, like I wasn't gonna be higher than 5'8", 5'9". And so, you know, there are a couple people who made it at my height, but like the 7-footers out there, like it's crazy. And
It's
so
it's the 0.1% of the 0.1%.
yeah, the amount of time that I spent playing basketball and then even football, if I could have put that effort and that time and that energy into learning how to code, learning science,
bro.
anything.
You would have figured out AI before anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
like Elon who?
Yeah,
like I would
come on, bro. Like think
and
about
so
it.
like if we put that same amount of time into just anything else other than sports, we can see improvement there. So
1,000%. 1,000. Sports is a vehicle.
What are your kids interested in right now?
So a couple of things my kids love. My oldest son, he loves Pokemon right now.
Yeah.
Loves Pokemon.
That takes me back.
And so he got so I found the old yellow version at my house, and so I was like, you know what, let me put him on games. So I went and got him a Game Boy Advance because we're not big on the iPads, not big on all that.
Good.
But I'm like, I'm gonna give you a Game Boy. Let you, you know what I'm saying? Like none of your friends gonna talk about this. Exactly.
These, yeah.
Oh man, it's all pixely. But we have a good time doing that. You know what I'm saying? So he's into Pokemon. They love Friday night family night. So most youth sports, like Saturday's like the Olympics. I don't care if your kid's in anything, like anything, not even just sports related, is getting scheduled on Saturday. Birthday parties, get-togethers, Jack and Jill's, anything.
Yeah.
But Friday nights, most families don't touch Friday nights actually. And so that's Friday night, family night for us. So we always pick a movie. So far we've done Space Jam, we've done Mulan, we did the Goofy movie.
Yeah.
And so they love that. They love music. So Lionel, my second, my oldest is Josiah. That's the Pokemon trainer. Then you got Lionel, who's he loves music.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about he be singing.
Yeah.
Sing like
You named him Lionel.
I know. And trust me, he'll walk. If you see my house, we got a little balcony, and it'll just be dead quiet. He'll walk to the top of the balcony, and all of a sudden you hear him. I'm like, yo, come on, man. Like, it's 6. You know what I'm saying? But they love music. They love Lion King. And then my youngest one, Cairo, he just follows them.
Yeah.
He loves both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Josiah's kind of like too
What are
far.
their ages?
So 6, 4, and 2.
Oh,
they were
that's
all
perfect.
born during even years. So
Yeah.
Josiah was 2018.
Yeah.
Lionel was 2020. And then Cairo was 2022.
Nice.
And that's it. But when I say Cairo loves Lionel.
Yeah.
If they see each other at school, he'll walk up to him. The teachers always tell me that. He'll be like, Lionel, you're my best friend. I'm like, I love that,
beautiful.
man. Like, that's priceless. Now,
Yeah.
at home, they be like, you're not my best friend. But in public, they'd be like,
That's what's up.
they
You and your
good
brother
kids.
set the tone for that too, though. Like I remember your
trying,
brother
man.
showing up to, practices, games. He's traveling with it everywhere, like everywhere, and like that was to see that support that you got from your family was amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's dope.
Yeah.
Do you remember this? So you were on pledging.
Oh, man, yeah.
Do you remember?
I try to forget.
So talk about the fraternity that you're in.
So I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and man, go ahead, ask your
Yeah.
question. Because you
No,
talking,
it's not
I
even
can tell
a
you the good
question.
stuff. I can tell, but that was a
It's
tough
not
time.
even a question,
Yeah.
but like if you don't know, like there is a process to this, and it is grueling. I don't know the process of it. I didn't go through it, but Jordan can speak to that. But like for months on end, like he didn't cut his hair. And that was a part of it. And then when the whole reveal comes out of now showing to the world that he has pledged this
Yeah, we
fraternity,
crossed,
he's bald.
Yeah.
He came, like I used to cut hair on campus. And so like came to me the night before crossing.
Yep.
And I cut his hair and he's like, hey, can you put this in a bag and save it for me? Do you remember that? I kept your hair for like 3 years.
I didn't come back and get
You
it.
never came and got it, bro. I kept your hair for like 3 years.
That's how messed up them dudes had me. I'm like, here, keep my hair. Just weird stuff, bro. Just weird stuff.
But the crazy
Like,
thing, you said,
man.
I want to show this to my kid one day.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, damn, I should have kept
You should have
that
kept the
damn
hair, bro. You
Yeah.
jacked it.
Yeah. But like I was moving, I was like, what is this? But no, man.
I don't mind telling this one part. I actually was telling this at a dinner last night. There's a lot of stuff about that out of respect for the fraternity,
Yeah.
I don't speak on. But there's one thing that I think is powerful. So it just in my house, I don't have a lot of stuff in there of my accomplishments. I'm just not big on that. Like in our house, if you walk in, you'll see when I came back to the Eagles, I caught a touchdown pass versus the Titans. It was the first touchdown that I caught since my oldest was born. So that was divine. That's nothing but God in that. So I got that laminated, JoJo's first touchdown ball in Nashville, Tennessee. So
Nice.
that's up. My wife won the national championship. Okay, like they give you a replica jersey, we putting that right there. You know, just so when
Yeah.
people, don't
Yeah.
just know.
Yeah, you gonna know. She doing things.
She like that. You know what I mean? Like I know she over there, getting stuff ready on the table, but she like that. So that's up. Let's see. I don't have. I'm serious. My brother got me one painting where it's like half Vanderbilt, half Eagles. So
Okay.
a lot of my accomplishments I really keep, away. My wife has some from the World Cup. One
Yeah.
thing up, but from pledging, same thing. Like I want my kids to be able to kind of shape their own reality. The only thing I do press on them is is the faith. I think that's important. We can talk about that later. But from my time pledging, there was one thing that they did. They called it your load, and I love this part about the process. They give you this brick, and in 3 holes in the brick, they tell you write your 3 main core values. So I said, okay, here's one. Boom, here's another one. Here's another one. So you write in there, and then you tape it up and they spray paint it and they put your number on it and they say, all right, every time you go anywhere, this needs to be with you. So if I wasn't at practice or I wasn't with the guys going through our stuff, like I was carrying a brick in my backpack because it had your 3 main core values. And you notice your values that you carry are heavy. You got to carry them everywhere. As a man, you have to. You have no choice, right? And the whole goal is whenever, it's my time to, when I hit my expiration date, then my family can finally go get that brick down. They open it up and they can read the 3 core values. They can be like, okay, did Dad stand on this?
Wow.
You know
See,
what I'm
I was
saying?
going to ask you what they are, but that's not
Exactly. Yeah. That's so I don't even speak.
Wow.
I mean, you're supposed to see it though. You're supposed to see it. I don't even gotta say it.
Yeah.
What's understood?
It's through the way you
Don't gotta
live
be
your life.
said.
That's
So-
beautiful.
So that's like almost your last little note to your wife. You know what I'm saying? Or your kids. Like, and I got 3 boys. So hey, you got that one. You got this one. You got this one. When I get old, hey, I can't lift it, but bring that brick down.
Wow.
That's my load. That's what I carried for you guys.
That's powerful.
And so, man, like that was like, I think that's applicable to anybody.
Yeah.
Like if I had a football team, that
Yeah.
first team meeting, I'm like, hey, what these bricks for? I'm like, you're gonna find out.
We're going to find out. Yeah, we're going to find out. You're
Yeah,
going to carry it.
yeah,
And we building this house brick by brick.
Brick
so
by
like,
brick.
Man,
Amen.
dope. That's dope. I didn't realize that, but man, like,
Yeah.
you put in some work.
I did.
And you did.
By the
And-
grace of God, yeah.
And I mean, you haven't shied away from work at all in your life. And you got to the NFL, 42nd pick of the NFL draft, 2014. What was the draft experience like for you? You could talk about the combine, the training, all of that, but like I'm really interested in like that night of the draft because you were the best receiver in the SEC at that time.
Yeah, no, for sure. Which was crazy, man. I mean, I even got it, like you said, we're gonna go back. I remember after my freshman year, I probably had like 100 some odd yards. I caught a touchdown all 4 games. So we had 4 games in the season: Kentucky, Florida, Tennessee, and Wake Forest. I caught a touchdown every one of those games. I went back to Huntsville to spend time with my family because the season would always end around Thanksgiving. And my cousin was there with me. His name's Kurt, and we were just talking. And I said, Kurt, man, pull up all the rookie receivers, what they finished with, freshman receivers. So it was like Keenan Allen, and it was Robert Woods. They were 2 of the top ones. And still on top, you know. And he showed me, like, Robert had like 900 something. Keenan had a good year. And I said, I'm going to catch him.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to catch him. I said, by the end of this thing, I'll be the active leader. And sure enough, 4 years later, I was an active leader. So I felt really good about, when the NFL finally reached out and said, hey, like we think it'd be a good idea to come to the draft. I was like, okay, so I'm going to go early. I've just always been thankful. Like,
Yeah.
I'm be honest, I forgot who said it once. They said, but we like guys that are low maintenance, high production. Low maintenance, high production. And that's how I've always tried to be.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, I've never, and God honest truth, and I got a lot of things wrong with me, so we'll get that out the way. But I'm telling you, like, you will never hear me complain
Yeah.
about no work.
Yeah.
Like, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Like, when I hear guys complain and we in the locker room, oh, we got conditioning, I'm like,
We blessed to have
we're
conditions.
blessed, bro. Are you
Yeah.
serious? There's
Yeah.
a man that can't walk.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? There's some kid that can't control it. There's war going on over his head. You mad about some sprints? Like, come on, bro. You have no clue. You're on full scholarship. Shut up. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like, you're a millionaire, dog.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so going to the draft, it was just a blessing, bro. Like, I remember me and my brother, we walked by Deion, and we was like, Deion Sanders. And my brother looked at me like, bro, we ain't supposed to be here. I was like, I know. Like, you know what I'm saying? We stuck up in here, dog. We
Yeah.
tricked him.
Yeah,
You know what
we
I'm saying?
tricked
You
him.
know what I'm saying? And so I'm there, and we're at the draft, and the first round goes, and I ain't get picked. And I see dudes walking out of their set. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I get another day of free
Wow.
stuff. You know, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Nah, I promise you. Reggie. When they finally called me, I dapped up Roger like I was the first. He didn't even hand me a jersey. He's like,
Yeah.
second round. He didn't get a jersey.
Like, I don't care. I'm
gonna
here.
get one soon.
Yeah.
You know, like, so,
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful way to look at it, man.
bro, I'm good, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm good, man. Like, I don't know. I've always looked at it like it's a blessing. Like, I'm going into year 12. Okay,
Yeah.
so on my team right now, you got like Andy Dalton. You got J.J. Jansen. You got Adam Thielen. I'm the 4th oldest guy, and then like Clowney's right after. Okay, what do all 4 of those other guys have in common? Okay, Andy's on like been signing multi-year deals, big bucks. Adam Thielen has been the guy. I call him the. I don't even call him the. I call him the.
Dog.
Like, the. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say the Ohio State.
Yeah.
Adam the. And so then you've got JJ, who's been like one of the best long snappers in the game for years. Okay, so then it's like, well, when people see me or my young teammates see me, they're like, oh, I remember you, but how you been sticking around so long? You know what I'm saying? What is because I haven't just been signing multi-year deals.
The average NFL player plays how long?
3
years. And you're going into your 12th
12
year.
We about to do that 4 times. And it's just like, and I love the path that I've had to take. It's made me more relatable. Torn ACLs, getting traded, getting cut multiple times, being drafted high, being a number 1 receiver, being a number 6 receiver, being cut as a receiver, changing the tight end. You know what I'm saying? Then having to be more active on special teams than I've ever had to be. So now, somebody once told me this, they Jordan, everything you go through is just to make you more relatable.
Yeah.
That's it. If I had the same career in the pros I did in college, I wouldn't be able to help out nobody. It'd be like, unless you are the top of the top, I really can't. I can maybe do a little for you, but I can't really reach down and really say, I understand. You know, I got 3 boys. I got something for all of them. No matter what happens, well, if you go through it, I probably have been through it.
And you're an asset in that locker room too, because there's so many dudes who get to that point where they're about to get cut. And they got to deal with that mentally. They got to deal with that. And so, like, having you in the locker room is a blessing. I see
every single one of them.
Yeah. Oh man.
I see the guy that's making $100 million, JC Horn, just became. I think Stingley signed something, but JC my highest paid. You know what I'm saying? Corner of the game, the dude's a beast. But I seen him beginning of the season. I knew he had a couple years. He was dealing with some injuries. I see him. I say, hey, you $100 million Horn.
Yeah.
$100 million Horn. I'm gonna speak that to you every day. I'm gonna speak that over your life. That's all I say. $100 million Horn. And he signed $100 million contract.
Yeah.
Now I don't think correlation's causation. You know what I mean? Like he was gonna do that regardless.
J-Matt is the reason he got that money.
No, like we said earlier, his dad is Jimmy Horn. You know what I'm saying? So probably, you know.
Yeah.
But I just want to speak that. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
But then I can go see. I know the guy that's about to probably get axed, get cut. I see him too.
Yeah.
I talked to him just like I talked to the $100 million guy. They both the same.
Man.
They got the same end. So just always trying to, I guess, be that bridge in the locker room. I talk to the coaches.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell. Like the coaches, when I first came into the league, those guys were like gatekeepers to my success and my happiness. Now, all I see people as is you saved or unsaved. Like either you were in a good place and we can work together, I can learn from you, or you're hurting and I'm just trying to be a vessel of positivity.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter who it is, really.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, man. So
what are some of the biggest misconceptions or like myths that have been busted about the league? Like growing up as a kid, like a kid out there, right? They got these visions. What are some of the misconceptions that you've uncovered?
Man, oh my goodness. What are the biggest misconceptions? That's tough. That's tough. I mean, there's certain things that just, you come in, you just think like, okay, this is family. Break it down on family. It's not your family.
Yeah.
It's not your family.
Yeah. It's a job.
It's a job.
Yeah.
I tell people you go through 3 stages. It may be in any business, but definitely in NFL. There's naivety, then there's cynicism, and then there's acceptance. You got to get to the quicker you get to acceptance.
Did you coin that?
Yeah, that's all
in the book.
This
going to be in the future book.
No, this all free. You know what I mean? But if we do write a book, I guess that I'll put that in a chapter. But this is just something I realized. Like, you know, there's that naivety. You get into a league and you got your friend. Like, man, we're gonna be. You ever seen the movie Brian Song? You just think, both of us running into the suns. You're like, nah, bro. Like, this is a job. You know, like you gotta understand. You gotta move like a man. Like cats just be like hanging out. I can hear the way they talk. See the way they conduct meetings. I'm like, you don't even realize they already plotting on you. They already trying to find your replacement. You know, and
you
so
thinking it's sweet.
You thinking it's sweet. And it's not. It's so sour. And so I'm kind of like, okay, well, that naivety is going to break at some point. Now, the problem is when you realize, dang, my best friend got cut. Dang, I thought I had a good year, but they traded me. Oh, I finally went to a negotiating table, and they're actually telling me, we really actually don't think you're worth that amount. Then comes the cynicism. And that's when you're that guy in the locker room that's like, man, all this junk is BS. Oh, that coach, man, forget that coach.
Toxic.
Man, our owner, And it's just toxic. It's sensitive. We see it with people when it comes to anything in life.
Right.
Marriage. Think about how many people talk about relationships now with cynicism.
Yeah.
Think about how many people talk about politics and the government with cynicism.
Yeah.
It's always like, you know, it's like red pill, blue pill. It's like black pill. It's just like, I'm done with everything. And so you've had that happen to you in the NFL usually about after that first contract year.
Okay.
Like that 3 to 4 year,
Which is a lucky thing to make.
a lucky
like
thing
if you
to
can
make.
Get there.
The cynicism starts to come in, and you hear it. But then if you can get to that acceptance, man, it's you really start to see what it is. You are a grown man that gets to make a lot of money playing a kid's game. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Beautiful.
I got this owner. Okay, everybody has an owner. Even if you're a business owner, your customers own you.
Facts.
So get used to be beholden to somebody.
Facts.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's just part of it. Oh, well, I don't, you are a grown man that gets paid a lot of money. You can set yourself up and you get to play a kid's game. You are blessed. Like I tell dudes, when people ask me, J-Man, how you doing? I'm blessed, baby. I'm blessed, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, you make league minimum. That could change somebody's whole life.
Facts.
Stop.
Facts.
Oh, you on practice squad this week, dude? Stop. Like, let's stop, please. Like, don't bring that to me.
Yeah.
You're blessed. And so for me, I think like I've always kind of like recently, now that I've gotten to the acceptance, it's like you're free. When they come to you and say, hey man, like, oh, we're gonna use you a lot this game. Your energy levels don't even go like, oh, it's like, okay, cool. Like, I got you, coach. Like, for sure. My life don't change. Wife stay the same, kids stay the same.
Yeah.
Oh, hey man, J-Man, come upstairs, bring your iPad, man. We gotta cut you. All right, well.
Yeah. You accepted
know what I'm saying?
it. You accepted it. Yeah.
Good. Like, I mean, how you doing?
How you
Bam.
doing,
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna bring you back tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Wow.
You just move on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. You mentioned you make a lot of money, right?
You do.
And I working in wealth management and seeing some of the decisions that people make when they're not used to making a lot of money. And just like sometimes I scratch my head. But you talk about like how you envision the money that you make, what you do with it, how you're prudent around that.
Yeah. I think one good rule of thumb is always like, if you can't buy it twice, don't buy it once. Right? So that house you're looking at, like, bro, if you can't do that twice, don't do it. Don't do it once. I've always tried to steward, my money in a good way. I had a good team. I'm always go back to them. I don't have all this like wisdom just because I'm smarter than thou. It's really because I've had people to help me along the way. But I didn't buy the lie. I mean, there's a NFL starter pack. Yeah. Hey, when you get here, you need to go get a chain with your name and your number on it. So now so the girls know who you are when you walk into the club. Like, bro, like they know you're 6'7", you know what I'm saying? Okay, now you got to go get the car with the Hellcat. Yeah. It's like, okay, so how much is that? It's like there's this little starter pack. Yeah. And I'm like, none of that junk matters. It does not, but I be trying to break down these walls. The good thing is, I tell you what, I'm so glad that I have had a good amount of success in my career early on, because the rookies still at least listen to me. Like if I ain't do nothing, they be like, man, what's this dude talking about? But they know, like, okay, J-Mac can go, we'll lend him an ear. And so I'm always talking to them about some wealth management stuff. Good. So like I have a young guy, JT, Jatavian Sanders, I give you real rap. So he's played at Texas, all right? That's Austin. Austin's very similar to Nashville. Yeah. When I signed my first Topps and Panini deals, I probably made upwards of $300K.
That's your card.
Yeah. I'm talking about before I even took a snap. Okay. Wow. Before I even touched the football field, just off of my college work, I probably made like 300, maybe close to 4. Like, and I was a receiver, offensive player. Yeah. I got drafted high to the Eagles, a high market. So I was going to get a little bit more. So I took that money and immediately started trying to find living in Nashville, because I know Nashville's a good city. I like it. Bought a condo for X amount. This is 2014. Okay, we appraised it around 20. What do you think? You know what I'm saying?
Skyrocket.
More than double.
Yeah.
Okay, and I still have it. And we put people in there and we rent it out.
Nice.
But I went and got it then because I knew the area. Like, I know that I can always come back here and stay here too. So I'm like, bro, you live in Austin. Go get you a place.
Great place.
Go get you a condo.
Market.
Like, it's a great market. And for what it's worth, the people competing for the places you're looking at are a very small percentage of people. So just go ahead and go look in there and go get it. So I think that's kind of like the biggest thing, but I'm not some like savant. I'm not in there every day like, oh, you need to go buy this stock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not on that.
Right.
I'm kind of like on the big things, like, don't go invest in some business that you don't know nothing about. All right, please don't. You don't need 3 cars.
Yeah.
You do not.
You got one right foot.
Exactly. Stop having kids. Like that's the number one. Like, I'm going on a crusade for the rest of my career. Stop having these babies.
Y'all heard it.
With women that's not your wife.
You heard it.
Please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop. They ain't asked for it. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Because it's like how much of your money is gonna go this way, and this way?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
These babies deserve to wake up and see, okay, there's dad, there's mom.
Like you said, yeah.
And you deserve to be able to make what you need to make and not feel like you're splitting it with a girl you have no relationship with.
That's
you
real.
have no desire to even see,
That's
okay,
real.
well, guess what? She's half of your kid.
Yeah. That's real. That's so real.
So I'm big on that. Like my boy, I keep giving names like Xavier Leggett. I love that dude.
Yeah.
I love X. Best I know everybody talk about his accent and all that stuff. But this dude, heart of gold, man, great dude. But doesn't have kids, doing the right things with his money. He's got some good endorsements going on. He gives great energy to the fan base. I'm always just like, man, don't make the big mistake. Let's just get through the weeds. I call it the weeds, man. Like 22 to
It's
like
a lot
28
of distractions.
is weeds.
It's a lot of
If
distractions
you can get through
along
the
that way.
weeds without a big mistake, I think you're gonna be good.
No, that's dope. That's dope. I mean, you giving game, and I know there's somebody chest burning right now because they heard that, but hey, that's real. If you felt that, you
come
felt
on.
that.
You
But
come
that's
on, bro.
real, man. That's
Yeah.
real. I don't think you get to a place where you are in life with the mindset that you have without strong faith.
Yeah.
Tell me what your faith means to you.
My faith is really everything. I think all this stuff is gonna pass away. All of it. The word of God says that the grass withers, the flowers fade, but the word of God is gonna stand forever. And that's still true. We see a lot of people when they get to the end of their life, they start trying to cling on to God. Start trying to cling on to the things of God. Now, somebody's been telling you for your whole life, hey man, all that physical stuff doesn't matter. Hey, like what is the profit of man to gain the world and lose your soul? People kick game you this all day. But you think, no, I really want to look at this TikTok one more time. I want to go, buy this. I want to go strive for this. When you get to them wee hours, when it gets to the quiet and you're about to, what are you going to want around you? You going to want that family, the free stuff. You going to want that family around you.
Man.
You going to want that love.
You going to want more time.
You want more time, all right? And you going to want the word of God spoke over you.
Yeah.
You are. You going to want truth.
That's dope.
You want to know, like, what's going to help my spirit. Okay, so my faith is everything. What's crazy is when I tore my ACL, I'd felt the Lord tell me for a long time to learn Hebrew. He was like, I want you to take that next step in your faith, and I want you to learn the Bible at a deeper level because this is the level people aren't tapping into. And so there's all these debates that go on about the Bible, and I'm like, really, you're debating this from your experience, this person. Like, what does the word have to say about the word?
Yeah.
Well, I want to go to the original part of it.
The original word. Yeah.
So when I tore my ACL, I told myself I was going to teach myself how to do 2 things. I was going to learn how to play chess, and I was going to learn Hebrew.
Yeah.
And, man, I learned chess, and I got it, and I was like, okay. And I taught it to my son, but then after that, I kind of put it down.
I play chess every day now.
You
I
do?
just learned this year.
Really?
And I play it every day.
You play every day?
I love it.
See, you probably kill me right now. But I learned Hebrew,
Yeah.
and it was just like, it took, I mean,
I see you studying it. I see it. Like
Bro.
you posted on your story, and I was like, okay.
bro,
Like,
it's little stuff like one of my good friends, Josh Grady, he's an agent.
yeah.
My frat brother, he called me and was
Joshua.
See, now don't give me on my Hebrew. So he calls me and he's like, man, Jordan, I got a question. I got a Hebrew question. I go, what's up? He said, hey, sometimes I see like this YHVH, and sometimes I see YHWH. So is it Yahweh or Jehovah? And I was able to tell him, oh yeah, like that W or that V is just a mixing, whether you use the Vav, which is the 6th letter of Hebrew, where the Vav is a V sound or a W sound, but it's technically the same name.
change it, okay.
Okay. So, and then the original Hebrew, there were no vowels. All those vowel marks, they came way later. It was all consonants. So that's why you see Yod, Hey, Vav. It's all consonants. So you put them together and you say Yah, or Yahweh. That's how they said it.
Okay.
You know. And as we were talking, we go a little bit further, and he's like, man, probably what's the coolest thing that you've seen recently? I say, I'm studying Cain and Abel, and there's this part where Cain, obviously kills his brother, and God banished him to the east, and he says, I'm put a mark on you. But that word for mark is kind of like a weird translation. It really is, I'm going to put a sign on you. I'm going to put a sign. And the word for sign in Hebrew is just a 3-letter word. It's an aleph, it's a vav, and it's a tav. Okay, aleph is the first letter of Hebrew. So aleph, okay, is God's letter. Vav, which we mentioned before, is a 6th letter. It means like a hook.
Okay.
So God, hook are connected to. And tav is the last letter of Hebrew. And it's the tav, its symbol is a cross. So the word for sign, when you put it over here, its meaning is, okay, God nailed to a cross. Oh, there's your sign.
Wow.
Some people are like, oh, I want a sign. Well, it's in the Hebrew.
Yeah.
It's in the word.
Yeah, but you got to go to the
You
original
got to go
text
to the
and
word.
understand
And what
that.
did John say? I was the word was with God. So I'm like, we got to go back to the words. You start peeling all these layers back, all those things you have questions about, it's all there.
Wow.
I don't even think it's much of a dispute that we even really have. It's a lot of our own preferences. It's a lot of our own human traditions that keep us from really diving into the word and realizing what brings us all back to the center is a loving God that's always had a heart for the nations.
Wow.
But you got to get back to the word.
Wow. That you went deep. Like Hebrew is a hard language. Like probably one of the hardest languages.
But it's so
learn.
fun. It's fun. Like think about it. Like the first letter is aleph. The second letter is bet. So if you put them together, what's that say? Aleph bet. So it predates Greek. Because what's Greek? The alphabet. So they just took it. You know what I'm saying? Hebrew goes left to right.
Yeah.
Greek goes left to right. Hebrew goes right to left.
Yeah.
God does one way. What does man do? You know what I'm saying? Like, so you start, come on, look, turn these, this mic will catch on fire soon.
When are we gonna see J Matt in the pulpit?
Man, I'm always in the pulpit.
Yeah.
Come on. You never saw the Savior. You never saw the Messiah in the pulpit.
No, that's real.
He was moving.
Everywhere.
He was everywhere.
Everywhere.
I think that's sometimes our problem. I don't think there's not a place for it. One of my greatest leaders is a guy named James Lowe. He's a pastor at Bethel. Great man. He's got 3 sons. I look up to him a lot. So I would never down the pulpit at all. But the thing I love about James is he's always out in the community. He's doing things. When God came to earth, he changed the world by just pouring into 12 dudes.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
Yeah.
We don't know how to pour into a small group of people for a long time intentionally. I want to say something to everybody, but it's like, nah, like really it's the consistency that is going to overall, bring about the change. So I'm already in the pulpit, man.
Yeah.
I'm already there.
Nah, you speaking life to a lot of people, and you uplifting. Like you've been an inspiration. I wore this for a reason, bro.
Appreciate it.
You've inspired me for
that,
a
man.
long time. Like
Appreciate
for real.
that, brother.
And I've looked up to you mainly because you was jumping over my head, and I was like, damn. But for real though, like little bro, like you're younger, but I've always looked up to you, man.
No, I appreciate you.
And I just, this has been fun for me. But before we close out, I gotta ask a couple of fill in the blanks.
Okay.
So, first thing that comes to mind: vulnerability means to me blank.
Relationships.
It didn't change. Okay, expand on that.
I think that's the only way to truly have real relationship with people. Is they got to be able to see, they got to be able to know. We always have these masks on, and I get it because somebody will say, well, like, that's just my worst side. That's not really like who I am, but man, what's powerful is when somebody can know your worst and still love you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they can know like, dang, that's what you did, or that's who you were. I still see the better in you. I see you for the highest part of you. So like, when it says like, man, Adam and Eve, they were naked in the garden, that's just not physically. That's like a whole deeper level. Like, nah, like everything is, there's nothing hidden. I had a friend once say, you're only sick as your secrets. I said, man, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. And so, I don't know, man, just that vulnerability, like with your wife, with your friends, with your audience. That's what I respect so much about you, bro, is that's scary to say like, all right, this is me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you know there's gonna be people like, haha,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
look at you.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm doing this, I'm purging so that now the good can come out.
Right.
And so that's why I just say, man, it's relationships.
That's dope.
All day, every day. You need that vulnerability if you're going to actually create something real.
That's dope, man. My biggest strength is blank.
I was gonna say love immediately. I got no ill will for nobody.
Hey.
None.
Yeah.
It's weird to me.
Yeah.
When people like mean spirited. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like,
Right.
I don't get that.
Right.
So I just like, and I've said this before, like, I have plenty of things, like we do a whole nother podcast. All right, Jordan, what's wrong with you? All right, let's get vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, like I got plenty of things that I need to work on. I got plenty of things that, like, if I don't wake up in the morning and push back, that darkness is gonna overcome me. I got to crucify that flesh every morning, you know, in order for me to walk right, you know. So, but I would say it's just love. Like when I see people, I try and just be like, okay, that guy has a story. That girl is somebody's daughter. She means something.
Right.
You know, it's not
Right.
all this instant. We're all going to the same end. We all got an expiration date.
Right.
So for me, man, I just always try and just lead with love. Talk to people, get to know them, you know, and that's probably my main strength. I got no ill will toward nobody.
I love that, bro. Bro, I love it. If I could give advice to my younger self, it would be blank.
There's always football advice. Yeah, I'll tell you the football advice.
Give me both. Give me football.
No, I'm
advice.
gonna give you the full one because it pertains to life.
It's a metaphor. All
Play.
right.
Okay, I would tell me play special teams.
Ooh.
And it's like, okay, well, why? Because some people aren't football listeners. Like, what?
Yeah. So yeah.
I thought I was too good for it. I thought I was too good for it when I
Special
was.
teams, for people who don't know,
Go ahead.
is so when the ball is being kicked, right? You got kickoff, kick return, you got field goal,
Third
all those-
phase.
Yeah, you got those different parts of a football game that aren't the highlights. They aren't the
not
most
highlighted.
desirable places, but they are necessary.
They're
And
necessary.
they can win or lose a game. And so, you know, they're not glorified, but they are necessary.
It's not glorified. And so when I was at Vanderbilt and I started emerging as a wide receiver and they would do special team circuit, I would just move to the back. I'm like, yes. So the whole time people were like, man, this is our leader. He's so humble. He works so hard. I wasn't working hard then. I wasn't humble then. So I thought that was beneath me. So if I thought that was beneath me, what was I inadvertently saying about the guys doing it?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
these are my own teammates. I'm kind of like, and it killed me later. You know what I'm saying? Because when I started going through injuries in the NFL and when I started scrapping to get back on a team, the number one thing they would say is, we don't have any special teams film on you. So it came back. Like, I'll be honest, my college film, what I had, if I would just play gunner,
Yeah.
if I would did one thing on kickoff return,
Made a tackle.
made a tackle, anything, bro, I probably would have made another $5 million over the course of my career. My boy Trent Sherfield, I'm a big up my guy. Before I get off here, I got to
Yes,
big up my dog.
please.
This dude was undrafted coming out of Vanderbilt. Undrafted. He's never not made an active roster out the gate with the
That's
team.
unreal.
He just signed I'm pretty sure, I want to get it right, like a 2-year, $8 million deal.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, he can go at receiver.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah. He's a
undisputed.
dog. Yeah.
But he might have had 10 catches last year, maybe. Now, don't think he not like that. 'Cause
Yeah,
when
right.
the Dolphins fed him,
Right.
he ate. It was like
Right.
40 and 400. Don't play.
Right.
But it's just the way the Minnesota Vikings ran their offense.
Yeah.
And it was like midway through the year, we're talking on the phone. He says, man, I'm about to turn up on these boys on teams.
Yeah.
They're not going to deny me. And he ended up almost going to the Pro Bowl and just signed an $8 million deal.
Oh,
Just because he's
shout
like,
out,
nah,
Trent.
like I'm not too big for this.
Yeah.
And my problem was I was too big headed. I was stubborn. I remember Coach Franklin being like, Jordan, you know, I think you should hop in on these. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. You know, yeah. Throw it to me, like, talk to me on third down, dog. You know what I mean? But I'm not too big for it now.
That's good.
Special teams period, I'm at the front of the line.
Yeah.
How I'm gonna make the team this year, God willing, it's gonna be through teams. Like the stuff that's glorified, man, that's not for me.
Yeah.
No more.
Translate
So,
that to life for me. What does that look like in somebody's working life and their relationships at home? What does that look like?
Yeah,
playing special teams, accepting that role.
Yeah, there's nothing beneath you. If you see a job that's there, just get it done. I remember me and my wife said this when we first got married because we were like, okay, what are some things we can try and do? We're like, if there's a job that we see that can get done, just do it. If there's dishes in the dishwasher that just finished, I can be like, well, my wife doesn't play pro soccer anymore. I'm the one still getting my body beat up. I still trained. She got it. But it's already there. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just get the job done.
Yeah.
If the baby's crying or something, I'm like, man, I'm the man. I usually don't. This got to be mom's job. But if it's, just go do it.
Yeah.
Just get it done. Vice versa for her. And there's times when, she looks at taking the trash out, like I'm asking her to do like a 445-pound deadlift. But if it's there and I'm busy, if I'm on my shift wave getting some meditation in, she's just gonna be like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just get the job done. Nothing's beneath you. I think that'll just carry you far even in business. Like that janitor's not beneath you.
Mm-hmm. Not at all.
Like,
I got a story about it. Look, I went about a janitor. I was at the gym the other day, and I was in the bathroom, and the janitor was mopping, and I literally was just like, "Man, I appreciate you." And I had my headphones on. He said something to me, so I had to take them off, and he's like, "You appreciate what I do?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I appreciate what you do." He's like, "Thank you, man." Like, you'll be surprised at how many people just like either walk past me or look at me a certain way and everything. Yeah. It's just like, that's a human right there. It's a whole human.
Yeah.
And how hard is it to show your gratitude and appreciation for a human doing a job and a service for you?
Right.
So no, that's beautiful, man.
No, for sure. So I think that was kind of like that's a beautiful story, man. I felt that over the course of my life and just realizing like, man, find those things that are special teams in your life. Like, okay, I think that's beneath me. Oh, that's actually what's going to help you become the best version of you.
That's
what I'm saying? Those thankless jobs.
Yeah.
That's what you got to kind of look into.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's big. It's big. Where was I? When I need inspiration, I turn to blank.
Okay. Obviously the word, but I'm going to give you a guy that I love. Okay, it's David Goggins.
Yeah.
I love David Goggins.
Yeah. David Goggins have you running through
that
walls.
Dude is insane. I love a practitioner.
Yeah. He's in it.
I love a practitioner. I don't want a theorist.
Yeah.
Don't tell me this is what hard work looks like.
No.
Do it.
No. On broken bones.
Everything.
Like,
oh my gosh. And then the people that are always like, oh, I guarantee he's not. Okay, you do it.
No.
Like what? Like, come on, man. Like, so, like there's just certain people, right? So I've said this before, like there's certain pastors, like I listen to Francis Chan a lot. He's a pastor that I really enjoy. If you live in a certain sin patterns, you're not gonna want to listen to Francis Chan. You just not. You're like, I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to get cut like this right now. I want something soft.
Yeah.
That's gonna make my ears feel good.
Yeah.
When you you do not want to hear David Goggins.
Yeah. When you know you sitting down.
When you ain't doing that work. When you in that self-pity, he the last person. What are you doing, son?
He gonna cuss you out and everything. You're sitting there on your fucking ass. like they don't care. Like he don't care.
Yes.
And why he running in the rain with a car driving by him recording what he doing? Like, no, that's real.
Yeah. Some dude said, I think when he was in one video, he said, so I was running and the guy saw me and he said, Dave, it's raining. Bro, you out here running. I said, cause you're not. I'm like, what? Bro, like you only get to that mentality on like the 25th mile. You gotta be like 6 miles for your brain to start tapping into a different, he like back here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's stuff that he done seen that you don't see, you know?
Have you read his book?
The first.
I've only read the first one, but like You Can't Break Me.
First one's sufficient. Can't hurt me. It's
Can't hurt me.
Man.
Can't hurt me. Yes.
Man. This generation needs that.
Yeah.
It needs
It'll change your mindset. It'll make you realize, I don't want to get up in the morning. Like, the fuck? I don't want to get up in the morning. Or I don't want to do this work. You just go do
People don't realize, man, all they need is already inside of them.
It is.
It already is.
Yes.
You gotta just go get it. And we always want to look for something synthetic. We want to look for a certain
quick
and I'm not
fix.
saying quick. I'm not saying some of those things. We're on probably I think a lot of people in the mental health space definitely admire what you do. So I always want to be sensitive to that. Like,
true.
There's times in your life where you do need a crutch.
Yeah.
You get injured early on. They don't say go out and run.
Right.
Yeah, you do need
Right.
something that's going to carry you for a little bit. You might need the wheelchair. You might need the scooter. But you can't live on the scooter.
Man.
You got to start doing it. And so for me, like I'm a big, like right now on my wrist, I got this like talk less, do more. You know what I'm saying? Do more, like action, man. Like, one of my favorite, like, I don't even know if it's a quote, but it's this synopsis of the word stress. And Jeff Bezos was talking about it. And he said, like, stress is not from having too much to do. It's from lack of action on the things you need to do. So when you're not actually doing the things you're supposed to be doing, that's when you
get
feel stressed.
Oof.
It's not because, I got so much to do. Man, you start checking out that checklist, you're going to feel accomplished.
Yeah.
And the stress going to alleviate. But when you just sitting there and
Yeah.
I got this paper I got to do, I got this practice I got to go to, I got this other thing I got to, you start feeling, man, you can just check out the check. Just do.
Start doing.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, so
I like
that's why I rock with Goggins, man. It's just like, you know, when it's time, I'm serious. When I wake up in the morning in Carolina, first thing I do, these people probably look at me weird. I go in there, it's early. It's like 5 something. So I've already done some I read the word. You know, they got this morning routine, guy. But I get up, I read the word, I meditate. You know what I'm saying? So I spend about 30 minutes, 40 minutes to myself, just in my room, just boom. Then I get to the facility. I go to the cafeteria. I go get straight black coffee. I go get on the gray shorts. I go fully underneath in the cold tub, and I sit in the cold tub for like 3 or 4 minutes, and I just sip coffee.
Nice.
And the whole time listening to Goggins.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You ain't getting out.
I'm
You
just
in
like
there.
I'm just freezing, sipping coffee. Like, how is this old man gonna stay here today? I'm gonna find a way. I'm ready for whatever.
Yeah, bro.
You can if we got practice. And you can ask. You can call any of my boys up, man. They know. They like, man. Like, is Jay gonna be ready to go? He's gonna be ready to go.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
I take a lot of that from Goggins, man. I just love his energy.
Yeah.
I hope I get to meet the dude one day.
You will. You know he's here.
I know
based
that.
here.
I know.
Yeah.
I just got to go outside and run on a cold day.
Yeah, when it's raining
When
the
it's
hardest and it's the coldest,
Right,
go
that's
outside,
what
you'll
go-
find them.
yeah.
Yeah. Man, J Matt, this has been a blessing, man. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing this and blessing people. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many gyms and so like your energy. Like, as soon as you walked in here, it's like your energy just like elevates the room. And so,
man.
any last? Well, first, how can people contact you if they want to get in touch? Because
Okay.
yeah, people want to know.
Yeah, so I would say my Instagram, at JMatt 3 times. That's so you can always follow me. You can see what we're doing. I say number one thing I want to leave the podcast with is, so right now, you know, you got the Vanderbilt hat on. I'm which camera do I look at?
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
go here.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm throwing a Vanderbilt Legends charity softball game. You know, it's going to be at Vanderbilt University, Hawkins Field, July 11th. Doors open at 5. Okay, so I got Hawkins Field. So the highest level of baseball in Nashville is Vanderbilt baseball. Don't get it twisted.
Hands down.
So Coach Corbin entrusted me with his stadium
Yo.
to throw this charity event. I've got some big names. I got Tony Kemp, 9-year MLB veteran. I got Oren Burke, Super Bowl champion. Man, I got some names I just even want to wait to say. I'm gonna wait. You guys need come out.
We got a former guest, Shane Foster.
Shane Foster gonna be out there, legend on the basketball court. But more than anything, this is why people really need to come out. We're doing this for a charity called Eli's House. Now, me and my wife are going out to Eli's House tomorrow. But what these women do is their heart is to keep families together. Their mission is built off that verse. We're going to bring back the parents to the children and the children's hearts back to the parents. So Tennessee has one of the worst foster care systems in the nation. So they take in at Eli's House women who are close to being homeless or living in really poverty-stricken areas. They bring them here. This plays out in a really nice area in Tennessee. And they give them food, shelter, clothing, trauma relief therapy, classes on how to work a job for 2 years. They pour into these women for 2 years straight, them and their kids. And then after the 2-year program is up, they do their best to reinstate them into regular life with a nice job, a place to where they can go start figuring out how to live so that the parents can stay with the kids, because they don't want the kids to be separated from their moms. Their goal is to keep moms and the kids with their biological mom. Like, this is a foundation you can reach out and touch. You can feel them. Now, I don't want to say the number per se, but let's just say a small car. It takes like a small car to truly support one of these families for an entire year. So my opening goal is 100,000.
Yeah.
You know, I want to at least get a few families where we can say, you know, hey, all these people in this stadium, all these celebrities that came out, hey, they did that for you. Like, they did this because we believe that you're a young kid. You deserve to have a sense of normalcy and to feel seen and to feel supported. So that's the Vandy Legends charity softball game supporting Eli's House at Hawkins Field on July 11th, 7-11. Because you
7-Eleven.
know
Yeah,
I'm always open. Come on now. Always open to give. So please just come out. I mean, for real. It's gonna be a great thing. I got some big stars I'm trying to hit up too, but it's really about the kids. For real. It's about these families, about these women. Let's just do something good. Let's do something.
Bro.
Yeah.
Hey, we need 5 more years out of you because you got some fans now that's gonna love you.
Come on.
You're their favorite
I'm grinding.
player now, bro.
I'm grinding.
So I need 5 more out of it.
Look, I got 3 more kids coming. You better follow them.
But look, J-Man, with all that you could be doing and all the places you could be, I appreciate you being here with me, embracing vulnerability.
You the man, brother.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you. Love you, dog.
bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining us in another episode of Vulnerability Muscle. If you've enjoyed these conversations around vulnerability, please consider leaving a review. Your feedback not only motivates us to continue to do the work that we do, but it allows other people to witness the power of vulnerability. Share your thoughts on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or wherever you're listening from. And don't forget to spread the word. You can follow us at Vulnerability Muscle on Instagram and me personally at Reggie D Ford across all platforms. Visit vulnerabilitymuscle.com for additional resources and support. And remember, embracing vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It is the source of your greatest strength. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but most workouts are. So keep flexing that vulnerability muscle.